Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Girls Room. I am here with the two OGs, Taylor, Sam, and we have the one and only, the one that requested to be a guest, Jake Storiale. How are you doing?
Oh, the crowd loves it.
Welcome.
The crowd loves it. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Since day one, I've been juiced up to come on The Girls Room. I think we're going to cover a lot today.
We are.
We're going to cover a lot. I'm warning you guys. I'm going to get real. Like, no BS today.
None.
Like,
Have at it.
okay.
I just want you to know we don't BS.
No, we don't at all.
Because that's usually normally all I do when there's a microphone.
That's true.
I've made a career out of BS. But today it's just real.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you guys want. Baseball.
Perfect.
Me and Jess is like darkest secrets. I'll give anything.
Okay.
We're not going to do that to Jess.
No.
Okay.
But maybe something about Noodle.
That's fair.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh. Dark.
That's
Dark.
my 1 weak spot. Okay. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see, because normally I'm recording or doing something.
True.
So I don't catch The Girls Room. Or
So you've
haven't
never listened to
caught
an
it.
episode in your entire life?
I see the clips.
Mm.
Okay.
So you're a fake supporter is what you're
I'm
telling
a
us.
fake fan.
Perfect.
I'm a fake fan.
That's okay.
So,
So you're still welcome.
there's blood in the water today. Currently feels like at me. But I will be turning it at some point at each of you. So I'm excited to do it.
Can't wait.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, we typically start off the show by talking about our weekends and what we did over the past few days. So I'm going to end with you, Jake, because I feel like you have a
Please.
decent
That will
story
lead.
to
Yeah.
tell. Sam, how was your weekend and past few days?
What have you been up to, Sam?
Oh, my
Yeah.
weekend was good. I went home to Maryland.
With who? Anyone?
I have a
Guests?
visitor in town
Any guests?
from Canada.
Love Canada.
Yeah, we went home. It took so long to drive back to Maryland. It took like 6 hours. Normally it should take 4, so that was a bummer. And then I hung out with my parents. I went to a Zach Bryan concert on Saturday night. That was really, really great. And then came back to the city Sunday, and I've just been hanging around. I've tried to fix my mic so that I could also see you, and it's not
okay.
quite working, but
I
just
can
have
see
to-
your eyes. That's all
I
that
just have
really
to-
matters.
to lean up a bit.
That's totally
So yeah,
okay, perfect.
good
Taylor,
weekend.
What about you? What have you done as you take a
Taylor's in
video
the
of
midst of
us?
story.
Okay. Okay.
I went back home to my hometown.
Perfect.
I threw a bridal shower for my best friend.
Shocked.
She gets married next month. Yeah, that's kind of what my whole weekend was about.
Perfect. Yeah, mine was pretty chill too. I went and played indoor putt-putt and got drunk off some espresso martinis, and that's about the extent of that.
That's blissful.
More importantly, Jake, how
Yes.
was not only your weekend, but more so the past 24 hours of your life?
I haven't done much. Stayed in with Noodle. You guys referenced him. Just the past 5 days. So
Nothing.
wish I had more to bring to the table.
Wish you
But,
did too.
I have had a couple days.
Yeah?
Yeah. What mini did you go to? Can you say what mini
Swingers.
Swinger. Okay.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
getting
right down the street.
The Insta ads for that.
It's so fun. I
Yeah?
totally would recommend it.
Okay.
You're allowed to drink on the course. They actually have waiters bring you alcohol
Like
to
that.
your hole, whether it's, a
That's
beer
amazing.
or a spicy margarita.
Is
whatever
there
your heart's
sunlight
like.
in there?
No.
Okay.
There's fake sunlight.
Oh, okay.
Fake.
I can work with that.
I liked it. It's only 9 holes, though. Like, there's 3 9-hole courses.
Okay.
So it's $26 for one.
1 9-hole set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
That's
in
kind
New-
of cheap.
In New York,
New York,
I
yeah.
feel like that's not
Yeah.
that bad. We probably
Get
were
a
there
drink.
for about an hour and a half because it's
Okay.
pretty spaced out. So
Okay.
I would recommend it.
My weekend started with my cousin Dean's wedding in Connecticut. Obviously, there was a weekend, so I had a wedding.
Makes sense.
It was good. It was you forget they were a little younger, so it's kind of a rowdy crew. And my uncle and aunt, that Dean, parents, my aunt and uncle, they are party people. They live on a river in Connecticut that's like a party, kind of like a Connecticut redneck Riviera a little bit. Like they turn up, like there's a guy that's like got a parrot and stuff. Like there's a lot of
that. I
motorcycles,
Love that. It's like
leather.
Cancun in Connecticut.
It's like it's lit. Like 4th of July, 8 a.m. People are already like gone. So that crew was at the wedding. So like it was pretty turn. And I mean, I was there with my mom and other family members who weren't going for that at this wedding. So, I mean, that kind of worked out for us. And then did some family stuff this weekend. My nephew Emmett, a lot of similarities to a young me. That's what I hear. Kid just kicks a ball all day. So it's like, they're like, Jake, you're great with the kid. I'm like, well, this is what I do anyways. Like, this is what I would be doing at the family party. And then we worked a little bit. Last night I went to the Yankees game. They won 9-8.
Yeah.
That's it.
Clockwork.
That's it?
That's it.
Nothing else?
What?
Nothing else about the game?
You bought that shirt there.
I did buy this shirt, if that's what you're talking about,
Oh.
off a nice street vendor gentleman. I Venmoed him. That was a whole process. It was bad. I was the guy sitting there with my phone, like, trying to figure it out. He gave up on me, which made me really want to get the shirt.
He was
Yeah.
just going to give it to you for free?
No.
Oh. He took it back from you.
He stopped talking to me. He's like, this
A
isn't
lost
going to work. That's how long we were
That's
looking
how
at
he
the
gave up
Venmo.
on you.
Last night, about a week and a half ago, I was a little high on the couch, and I was like, Aaron Judge is going to break the home run record.
You figured that out a week ago?
That's it.
This is the girls' room. We have the first tiers.
Sorry. Please continue.
Sam. And I was like, I need to go to every game I can go to. So last night was one I could go to. So I bought tickets to that, and then I also got press passes.
Ooh.
So I was a member of the media, bumping elbows, passing, all the Yankees folk. That was a good time. And, I would really want to see a Judge home run. And then it looked like they were going to lose. And I also want to see a Judge home run. And then both of that happened in the final innings. I did a couple reaction videos because I'm a vlogger now.
Legendary.
We
Big
love
time.
that for you, by the way.
I'm
Big
a vlogger
time.
now. So that's huge. People seem to like those videos. My yell...
It's more of a shriek.
Yeah, what do we want to...
It was just a
what do we
sound.
say
Honestly, it paired
about that?
nicely with Celine Dion.
Okay.
Have you seen the video that is now circulating on the internet that I created about 20 minutes ago?
So I retweeted it. I was recording Wake and Jake, but I saw there was a video, and it looked like the video of me shrieking. So I did retweet it, but I have not.
You haven't heard it.
You should
No.
play it.
You should play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live.
So yeah, it was a good game. Good night. Went to Billy's briefly.
As one does after the Yankees
Yeah,
win
I
like
mean,
that.
just to show face. You know, people love seeing the local celebs.
Yeah, that makes you and
Joe's.
Joe's. You and
Yeah.
Joe's.
Oh, actually.
It sounds like
It
someone's
does that.
getting murdered.
It doesn't. Yeah. And yeah, Sam, as you noted earlier, will sometimes call me out on my BS. Yeah, I posted it without listening because, I mean, you're at the game, the crowd's going nuts, and it's also a race, and, you're fighting for internet and Wi-Fi at the game to get your content, hashtag content out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I posted that without listening to it, and then went to Billy's with Joe's, and then went to get the train. It was a 19-minute wait, and I said, you know what, I will spend the $20.99 on a Lyft to go home. So I did that, and then I was like, oh, I should, listen to this. And, yeah, it was one of those... Not what I thought my yell was going to sound like.
It was genuine.
That's what I
It
said.
was
It
genuine.
was very genuine. And the
Couldn't have
fact that
been
you
more
can
genuine.
see Joe's in the background
Yeah.
doing the same type
A little
of
side
shriek.
by side.
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
favorite part, is going back and forth from your content to Joe's content.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joe's and I are fighting. I'd like to announce that on the girls' room.
Ooh.
Now I think I'm the...
You're stepping foot in his domain.
Yes, I am
Makes
now
sense.
the vlogger reaction guy. So...
How does Joe's feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, it felt like me and Joe's had a burgeoning, is that a word?
Fledgling.
What's that mean?
Same thing.
Okay. Blossoming friendship. And I might have just shot it in the foot.
I think until
Because
you
now
get
I'm an internet sensation.
a New Yorker article written about you,
Yeah, that's
Joe's
true.
may still have a leg up.
I hate Joe's.
But you're coming for him.
Maybe it's just a me thing then. Maybe I just hate Joe's McFly.
Maybe you're projecting.
Clip
Yeah.
And it's really
Ah.
just you.
Okay,
Very.
I don't like when you guys all say it at the same time. So let's nip that in the bud. But no, it was a fun night, and I think a lot of Yankee fans, whether talking Yanks through the years or whatever, they ask, like, what's your favorite Yankees game? And
Yeah.
for me, I never had a lot of great ones because we used to go to Sunday. When my mom could bring us, it would be a Sunday day game where she'd bring me and my sister and a bag of Twizzlers, and we'd go into Yankee Stadium. And on Sundays, when the Yankees were Sam's Yankees, Torrey and the boys, and we won, and that's what we did, Sundays used to be their potential rest day. Like, if the boys had a good week and they were winning, that's when, like, one of the guys would get a rest. So the Yankees had a couple years where Posada, when he was catching, they tried to make him also a first baseman. Didn't go well. It wasn't in the bag for Jorge. But I probably saw 3 Jorge Posada starts at first base because they were like, all right, let's rest Tino. Let's try Jorge at first. And then, like, one of Jeter, Bernie, or someone else wouldn't be playing. So it would be the summer because we weren't in school. So it'd be a Sunday, like, 92-degree day at the stadium.
Baking.
So me answering those, like, voicemail questions would be like, yeah, I remember Posada played first. And Jimmy'd be like, yeah, I went to a couple playoff games. They were good. So I think I can now say that's, like, my favorite
Has to be.
Yankees game. Or probably sporting game.
Fair, yeah.
You guys were at the World Series.
We were at the World
2020.
Series, the one where Rosarena fell and, like, was the game-winning play. So
That
that's,
should
like,
be
a
up there.
cool game, but it's also super weird because it was COVID and 20% capacity in a Rays-Dodgers game in Dallas. So, but, yeah. Hopefully there's more games to compete with that coming up.
Honestly, I was on shift last night, and when I'm working, I don't watch the Yankees because there's other people covering the Yankees. And Kyle was tweeting every time Judge came up from the Talking Yanks account, Aaron Judge is batting. Right. So it was late. I saw the score, and I'm like, let me just throw it on. So I had it on. Like, I had a quad box going, and I had it on the small screen. And I watched it happen, and I was like, there's no way. Because I knew you were there. Joe's was there. And then I saw your video first, your reaction video. You had tears in your eyes, which immediately brought tears to my eyes for some reason.
I was emotional. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
We're heading towards my goal.
And then I watched Jimmy's video. Yeah. Forget it. Full tears. I was crying. I'm like, I don't know why I'm crying. I'm not even a Yankee fan. But I was like, first of all, it's obviously just as a baseball fan, you can recognize what a wild year and moment that was. But seeing both of your videos back to back, I started crying. I'm like, I'm just so happy for that.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Whoever was watching that game and didn't have the thought when Stanton came up to the plate of like, oh, imagine if Stanton hits a grand slam right here, you're a joke. Like everyone had that thought, and it was stunning.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I'm still speechless and I can't process it.
So as two Yankees fans, obviously last night's win was huge. It's a win. The W in the books is always a plus. But do you think that just the way that win happened with Judge and with Stanton, everything, do you think that was the momentum that the Yankees needed going into the postseason?
Sam?
I mean, you hope. But I remember I had that same thought back a couple weeks ago when we were in that insanely awful slump and Donaldson hit his walk-off grand slam. I was like, oh, this is the switch, and then it didn't really work. Right. This is obviously 10 times more cool than that. But yeah, I do.
The Stanton part of it, it's romantic about baseball and blah, 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 all that. Sure. Aaron Judge hitting a home run in the top of the 9th inning when the people that stayed there were only there to stay there to see him hit a home run. He knows that. His goal is to hit a home run. Like, I know, press conference Aaron Judge won't say that.
Yeah.
9th inning, 4-run game.
Obviously.
His goal is to hit a home run.
True.
The pitcher who comes in, his singular goal is to not give up a home run. If you can walk him, the dugout goes, good job. His team says, really good job, man. You didn't give up a home run.
Right.
He gives up a home run. So that being tied into it and seeing the 6-0, and the thing that I don't think is being talked about enough, and maybe it is, but I don't know because I was shrieking my head off and then came into work today, Stanton has a 59 home run season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is like, in the modern era, since those guys, since Ruth and Maris, he's the one.
Yep.
So for him to be in as horrific of a slump his career has been on, to be injury riddled to a degree or whatever it is, For him to hit the grand slam in that moment after Judge just passes him, which does it matter to us? No. To those guys, it does.
Yeah.
Like they could
That's
lie all day and give
Yeah.
you press conferences and everything, but Giancarlo Stanton is that dude. He's got $300 million coming. He hit 59 home runs in a season.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been Judge's team. Stanton got booed
That
in
game.
his previous at-bats that day. That it really ends up being one of those romantic baseball notions. And I will bring out a first question to the girls' room. Do we think there's any chance that they don't like each other?
No.
I used to think that. I really did used to think that.
No.
I don't think so, because I think you would pick up on body language to some degree at this point. And I just don't. You can only fake so much.
They're two cool Cali guys.
They are kind of too cool for school.
Yeah.
Stanton is Stan. Since he has his contract, he's been one of the best Yankees press conferences because his game is over.
He's perfect.
Like, he's got nothing to prove. Like, no one
Yeah.
can take his money away. So when he gives a press conference, he's Giancarlo Stanton. Judge obviously puts on an act, and, the guys won today. It's like, all right, dude, I get it. He's waiting to get his bag, and he knows if he acts Jetorian or Judgian or whatever it is, that just leads to more money and more money, less problems. Title of my album. I don't know, and I will dish it back to the girls' room. Because even if they are indifferent about each other, they're two larger-than-life guys, the home runs, everything else, teammates, sure. I mean, the Judge Rizzo stuff is out of control.
Yeah, that's so obvious. They're best friends.
I've got a theory that I don't think I can share on the girls' room.
You don't think
with
Judge and Stanton
Rizzo.
like each other? Oh, Judge and Rizzo.
I think Judge and Rizzo are too close. I don't know. I don't know. However,
We're going that route.
Swingers golf course.
That got deep. Okay.
Ad. I just don't know. They should have more interactions.
I think
You
this
know
is
what
my
I'm
take.
saying?
I think they both walk around like we know we're the shit, and we just mind our own business and let everyone else know that we're the shit. I think they have mutual respect for each other.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to be
That's what I
best
was gonna
But
say.
I don't think they're BFFs.
Nope.
But I do think that they both have an understanding of we are the shit and
Right.
we run shit in this clubhouse.
Right.
And they just go about their
Yeah.
business like normal.
But we're in Sam's trust tree, so she doesn't shit talk us around our backs. But everyone else in the office, she trash talks
Of course.
profusely.
Exactly.
Can't stand it.
I could see a Judge Stanton thing there. I could see Stanton almost doing you can't Judge give a real press conference, dude. Why do you do all this? I don't know.
I don't think either of them care enough.
I wish it was
yeah.
a step further, so I don't even think this was a conversation. But I think it opens up a conversation.
I think they're both just too chill and they don't care about being celebrities. One of them is an A-Rod. That's the only reason we have the Jeter A-Rod beef is because A-Rod propels it, and neither Judge nor Stanton.
I think Jeter propelled that a little bit.
I guess, yeah, but I don't think Judge and Stanton.
If
care
a
enough to
documentary
make it a
came
thing.
out 20 years from now, Judge home run race, and it comes out that Stanton and Judge were yeah, we didn't really fuck with each other. That wouldn't shock
That would shock me.
That would shock you.
I mean, I don't think there's a hatred or a dislike there. I think maybe a side comment or two would happen just from a competitive nature, but I think it's more so they're coworkers and they don't hang out outside of work.
Yeah.
I think
we
it's
keep
that.
it here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hey, if we are both on the same page and we do our
Yeah.
jobs and we are going to make it to our goal.
Right.
And I think that's the only thing they care about. They might not like the same movies or go to the same restaurant, anything like that. But
Yeah.
I think they're coworkers and they have a mutual goal at the end of the day.
Do we think or do we know if Stanton was invited to Judge's wedding in Hawaii?
I don't know.
'Cause that's interesting.
From everything I currently know,
He wasn't.
I would say no. We haven't seen that. We know Tyler Wade. And I guess that's, again, not to peel back more and more layers of this, but
Stanton obviously hates Wade.
part of the beauty, I wouldn't say obviously. I think they've had a couple good nights. Swingers mini golf. I think I don't know. Part of the reason Talking Yanks was successful is because we did stuff that wasn't about the baseball players. It was what they were doing in the dugout and who they are, and like Glaber and Andujar, like friends. Like there are dudes on this team that you know, like Rizzo and Judge. I know I made a mini golf joke about it, but like, I mean, peas and carrots. Like those guys operate like me and Jimmy in college, which. Was just on a ridiculous level.
Yeah.
And, like, the starting pitchers obviously roll together. That's, like, a pitcher's thing. And, like, you obviously, some of the Latin players, and you have different teammates that find their overlap. Even Glaber and Rizzo. Like, Stanton and Judge, and I'm genuinely not trying to cause something, but I don't know. I just think there's a lot of dynamics in play that the Yankees also love to cover up anything that's anything. That I don't know. Like, if it came out in the documentary, I wouldn't be,
I could also see Stanton not caring enough to have any thought about this.
Yeah.
Like, you're saying the press conference thing, like where you're saying he might talk shit behind his back. I could see him saying it straight to his face.
Right.
Like, Judge walks out of his press conference, Stanton's like, how long are you going to be fake for? Like, I can see him saying it right to his face.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a
that.
bullshitter to me.
Well, that's the thing. Stanton's kind of the unique one in here because we kind of actually know who Judge is because he came up, he like talks trash in the dugout. We know that he obviously puts on a press conference face, but he's carrying the boombox, leaving Fenway. Like there's Judge is another guy when he's not press conferencing, and we kind of know who that guy is. And he came up the farm system, so some of these guys have connect the dots from when they're 21 and shit, which is just a different connecting. Stanton, we have this really weird vibe from him because he is Cali and he's got the big smile and he's ripped up and all this, but he's supposedly like the hardest worker. Like everyone that says that, like, and to have that body, that doesn't just happen. Like I know he's kind of got that chill Cali smile and like wink at you a little bit, but it's also, I don't know. He's got some layers that I don't know if we know who he fully is.
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
How long have you been wanting to get that out? Get that off your chest?
I just kind of stumbled into it, so now I bounce it off as many people as possible
Makes sense.
to get anything else I can regurgitate as my own. That's
makes
my
sense.
whole trick.
Do you feel like you got some stuff out of this?
I feel like Sam's uncomfortable about the whole thing, so that's a win.
I just don't see it at all. I think watching Judge react to his walk-off last night was insane. And obviously that was just a whole bag of emotions, but it was a lot of Stanton. Like I think he was so happy. Stanton's presser after the game talking about Judge. Like I think it's all genuine. That thought has never trickled into my head. And I would like it to never come back into my
I think everyone can be right currently.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well,
It's thought-provoking.
Okay.
I actually have a question for you guys, kind of going off of Aaron Judge last night, home run ball. There's a lot of stuff that was posted on social media about how much it was going to be worth. People were wanting to kill people to try to catch that ball. All in all, the guy that ended up catching it basically said he didn't want any money, that he just wanted him to have it because it's a huge accomplishment. If you guys were to be the one that caught it, would you just give it back to him? Or would you want to sell? How would you go about that, guys?
I just give it back.
Yeah? Straight up.
Yeah, I do what these boys did. I go give it to him, take a picture, meet him.
I think
here you
no
go.
more, no less requests.
No, I mean, I guess like tickets. But like I don't know. It's just going to sit in my room.
I think I'm too romantic about baseball to not just give it back. Like, I wish I could be like, I would demand X, Y, and Z. Right. I don't think I have it in me. In that moment,
I feel so guilty.
I would just be so elated about the whole situation. I would be like, you just have it.
Take it.
And truthfully, you were probably under a dog pile of like grown-ass men that were like trying to like claw your eyes out to catch said ball. So you already went through the ringer. You might as well like get something
I
positive
saw people
out of
were
it.
like Venmoing that kid for like being nice and giving the ball back. I'm like, that's a little much. Like, he just caught a ball and gave it back.
It was supposedly worth $500,000.
That's what the office was just discussing.
That's life-changing money.
That is a lot of
I
money.
guess. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I would have just asked for more. Because, I don't know, bat and ball is cool and stuff, but, like, especially, I mean, Yankee fans, like, I would ask for, like, playoff tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess
but
tickets.
You do draw a line somewhere, because if you want to end up still looking like the good guy, which this kid currently looks like, you do have to draw a line. But, yeah,
I think bat and ball was a little weak.
It's a little weak.
A little bit.
Bat and ball for the boys.
He's
like,
probably
that's,
so flustered.
That's whatever's left over in your locker.
Didn't even know what to ask
Yeah.
for.
That's
I mean, for baseball players, you just gave them like garbage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's
It's
some
whatever's
garbage.
just left in your locker. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I got a spare bat. This is what I use in BP. Like
I mean, how old was that kid though?
20.
20.
So I don't know. The kid deserves the love he's getting because I don't know if he had any idea that the ball could potentially be worth $500K. But a 20-year-old,
His parents are probably really proud.
$5K when I was 20 years old, I would have like
$500.
not stabbed someone, but like a fork stab. $5K?
Tom DeFina said if he went home
Tom
without...
DeFina would have sold that.
He said he would have got his ass beat by his dad if he went home and didn't ask for money for that ball.
That makes a lot of sense.
The whole sales team would be selling.
The sales. You know what's funny?
And
The
that's
sales
why we're
team.
not sales.
The sales team
Yeah.
was the group discussing how much they would negotiate for,
Well,
which
they're
does
like,
make sense.
"But-"
Well, Sam used to be sales.
I don't get
Did
why
she?
we're so proud of people for not like exploiting something like this. Like, or it's just like sad that we're expecting people to extort the Yankees for $5 million.
I mean,
Well, it's not the Yankees. It would be selling it to someone.
Well, yeah, or like I don't know, like holding it hostage for the Yanks for like dinner with Judge and like a vacation with him. I don't know.
it's the same guys with the giant binders and
Yeah.
like sweaty
Right.
armpits trying to get signatures from minor league. I mean, it's the same. Like, you don't expect people to do that.
I mean, what would we be saying if this was some, I don't know, someone from the Bronx who grew up like in a tough background,
Yeah.
and like $500K?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Each situation obviously brings its own thing, and I think your moral compass is everyone's moral compass is in the right spot here. But I don't know. If I was down bad in life and you get that ball, like I think I would be able to tell Aaron Judge like, hey man, like my life ain't too good. Like I'm grinding my ass off. I've got a ton of debt. Like this can change my life. And honestly, if Aaron Judge is the Aaron Judge you think he is, like, don't you think he'd be like,
Keep it.
I got you, like 60? Hopefully that one doesn't even matter in
Right.
a couple hours.
Right. Well, that's what I was. Then they were talking
Yeah,
about
true.
62. They're like, "What do you do if you catch 62?" I'm like, "That's not going to him. That's going to the Hall of Fame. That's
Right.
going. That ball's going to Cooperstown." They're like, "If I give it to him,"
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay," but like, I don't know at what point, like, how high does the price get
Yeah.
The rumor is $2.5 million.
for 62?
For real?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, question. If you were the one that caught that ball, would Cooperstown or like would MLB buy that from you? Because it's technically, do they still own it since it's in one of their facilities?
I think so. I don't know rich people bullshit yet. But trying to get there.
I love that you said
Close.
yet.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal,
Manifesting.
right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Good to have
Manifesting.
goals.
Grew up in Connecticut. Divorced parents. When I was young. But yeah, was only allowed to play one sport a year. Both parents worked for the state. A lot of my friends' parents had a lot of money. I'm getting emotional today. I told you guys.
Yeah,
You
you
wanted
want
to
to cry?
cry.
We can.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Who owns it? And
Yeah.
how do you get?
I
Yeah.
think.
And we're back.
If you're a rich person, I think you buy it and donate it to the Hall of Fame. I think. And then, like, your cool rich person thing is, well, technically, like, I own the Hall of Fame ball, or the home run ball, and I've donated it to the Hall of Fame. I think, I don't know.
I could see that. Do you get a little? Does it say on there who it was donated from? Like in Cooperstown? I would imagine
Maybe
it probably
a little-
has
Probably.
to, right?
Yeah.
Where it
Probably.
came from?
I mean, that shit's on everything. Donated by the Franklin
Yeah.
Friars, and
Yeah,
you're like, oh,
someone-
awesome,
yeah.
dude.
Because I do think that would be cool. Like, what a legacy. You catch the ball and you donate it to Cooperstown. And
But that's not the person who caught the ball.
no, that's the
an-
person who bought it from the person
Yeah.
who got the ball, yeah. But in general, I mean, having something there that you donated for what I would imagine is forever is pretty cool.
It's nice.
I
It's
don't know.
interesting.
Have you been to Cooperstown?
I have been. Not in a while.
I'm trying to plan a
Ooh,
company
yeah.
trip.
we should. We
Have you
should.
been? We early times in the company, we got linked up with a company that did baseball tours. So it'd be like fly out to the West Coast. They schedule all the hotels and buses and stuff, and you do, Dodgers, Angels, Oakland, Giants, Padres, and that's like your week. And they had a Cooperstown one, and we were gonna do it originally for Jeter, COVID, and just got too busy. But yeah, I'd love to get up there again.
That'd be great.
And our friend Josh, I was DMing him because he was at Jeter night. He was on the field, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then me and Joe said each other like, I don't know if he's with Jeter, and like, what's everyone's plans for the night?
Yeah. You're like, I know that
we
guy.
like half tried to link up. It didn't work.
Shackle met him on the field and DM'd me and was like, I met Josh. We were talking about you. And I was like, that's so sweet.
So yeah, no, when we do, we should probably like raid the Hall of Fame. Like Jomboy Media.
Yeah. I mean,
all
they
wear
would
matching
like,
T-shirts.
Fucking take 2 party buses.
Yeah. I mean,
yes. Cameras.
Line leaders.
Josh would roll out the red carpet for us.
I know.
He's dying for us to get up there. He tells me all the time. So
that would be fun.
We should plan an off-season.
Okay.
I think that'd be great.
I'd like to go up there.
Just putting that in your brain.
Nice lake.
Yeah, beautiful.
Golf
He lives right on the
courses.
lake.
Make
We
a
could
whole
stay with
thing.
him.
Dude,
He has
what a gig.
like an 8-bedroom
we've
old
We
bread
can
and breakfast
stay with
that he's is at their house now. So he's got room.
Wow. Okay.
I love this.
Josh, if you're listening,
Cooperstown
your
trip
house.
next summer.
I love this.
Done.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this baseball convo up because I actually have a few other points that I would like to get to. This is a pretty thought-provoking conversation. I'm not going to do the serious one. I'm going to do the less serious one just to keep the vibe going. Bucks Mike Evans suspended for fighting Saints player. Obviously, this is a football topic, but my question is, what sport do we think would be incredibly interesting to see a brawl break out in? We see them in basketball. We now see them in football, baseball, in hockey. These are things, right? But what obscure sport needs a good old-fashioned brawl? Because my pick is golf.
I was gonna say golf just because it's so opposite. Like it's so.
Like, can you imagine
golf
Tiger
is
Woods
so
just
gentlemanly.
Like a real one.
Like
in
running
the,
up
in the
and just,
fairway, like wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, people like, whoa.
like taking him out at the shins with his golf club?
I don't know why my brain immediately went to curling.
Yo.
And like with their little
on the ice,
On the
on the ice
slipping.
with their whatever you call that rake thing that they
Yeah.
use,
Yeah.
and they're just whacking each other
Just
with
Yeah.
beating
it.
each other with it?
Again, we're doing kind of initial reaction here. I jumped to ping pong. Because you've got a couple weapons in play here. It's whoever has the ball. There's your first shot.
True.
You have paddles. Are you throwing your paddle or are you keeping it as your sword?
True.
And it would be an awful fight.
Just bad.
Ping pong people are not supposed to fight.
No.
So, does the table get in play? Does one of them get like the dominant and like slam?
It's like WWE.
Or like Bill's
We'd watch
fans.
that.
I would.
That'd be on Jomboy Media.
I would watch that.
Twitter.
I would watch
Ping
that.
pong fight.
My other one was swimming.
Whoa.
Oh my God, someone's drowning.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
that
fuck
could
with
get
drowning.
dark.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with drowning.
But swimmers are like, think like Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
He's not messing around.
No.
No,
He's
he
in
can
good
beat
shape.
your ass.
You guys ever play water polo?
No.
No.
My God.
There's
It's
no
it's
part of me.
basically drowning.
There's no part of
Water polo's
me
a crazy game.
that's ever wanted to be like treading water for a long period of time while also
Playing handball.
Yeah.
Like,
It's nuts.
it's drowning with a ball.
And people do it for fun.
Yes.
They enjoy that. They choose that. They wake up and say, "I can't wait for this."
Not for me.
I think golf. I think just because it would be so uncharacteristic.
Well,
And
I mean,
it's such a polite, uppity game.
golfers are already in their head, like mentally. It's such a mental game. Right. That's why when I feel like we see a baseball brawl, we're like, that makes sense. They've got a lot of pent up emotion. Like, it's good to let that out, right? Golfers just never do. So if I just saw a guy walk up and just trip someone, take someone out with a golf club, I'd be like, that makes sense.
A casual trip would be good. So, oops.
Out of the 4 major sports,
Yeah.
which one do you like seeing a brawl in the most?
Hockey. God, it pumps me up so much.
Hockey's good.
Yeah, maybe hockey.
Baseball just, I want it to be great. Like the brawl earlier in the season, I was like, yes, here we are. This is it.
Yeah.
Most
But
of the
that's
time,
so
it's
few
just
and
like,
far between.
Yeah.
I
There's
just-
too many bodies.
I just love the bullpens running in.
Yeah.
That's such a good element.
I think it's a fantastic element. I think from a fight perspective, it kind of makes the whole thing a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
we're gonna have 12 guys running next to each other, just like ready for this. Like it's just ridiculous. It's baseball.
Yeah,
like it's
it's so
ridiculous.
baseball.
It's
It is.
fun.
It's anticlimactic.
Football, man. When you see someone's helmet come off and they're like, "We're gonna do this," you're like, "Whoa," because like you guys shouldn't be doing this.
Never
This is
happens.
dangerous.
That's scary.
Never happens.
And then basketball. Honestly, basketball is the worst.
Yeah.
Because they know none of them really want to fight each other. Why isn't there a one-on-one basketball league? It would be so watched. People
true.
would- you know why people don't do it? None of them want to be embarrassed. That's why these monster of men don't fight each other. Because when you're 6'8", 260, you never get into a fist fight.
It's true.
So none of these guys want to fight each other because they don't want it to live forever on the internet. So NBA fights, I think, are the worst.
Yeah. They're also, hate to say it, they baby everything. Like they trip,
Say it.
they fall easier. You know what I mean?
They take
They're-
cheap shots.
Yeah,
TJ.
but they're doing like the soccer move of like
the
really
flop,
playing it up.
Flopping, yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? Jake, you might know this. The fight, NBA, Detroit Pistons.
Malice in the Palace.
Malice in the Palace. That's the only NBA fight that I've ever been like, that shit's wild.
Well, that was like NBA versus the crowd.
And I loved it.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, that's all time.
Imagine if that
That's
were to
forever.
happen today. Like if LeBron went up into the stands and just like
Well,
sucker
didn't
punched
someone just punched the guy on the Cardinals? And
Kyler.
a
Yeah.
fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of the same thing.
Same realm. All right, next segment. I definitely want to do a good energy, Matt energy, because there's some weird shit out there these past few days. Jake, basically,
Yes.
the name of the game is I'll give you a topic, and we'll go around and basically discuss whether we think it's good or
Okay. I know you guys. You guys really shook Jack Doyle with this segment.
we did.
He hasn't been the same since he's come out of this room.
No.
He couldn't believe that we talk about the things we talk about.
Yeah, he was shocked, and I was like, "Well, it's happening."
We didn't give him a lot of warning on what we were going to talk about either,
Right.
so I think that was
Right.
part of the problem. He wasn't prepped.
Yeah.
He did great.
I thought he did good. I could tell he was a
Oh, do you
little-
guys want to hear something that
Yes.
ruins Jake's theory?
Okay.
In 2013, Judge tweeted,
2013.
Yeah.
Sam.
favorite team is the Giants, and my favorite players are Giancarlo, Stanton, and Albert Pujols. So,
But I think this is more of a Stanton,
I
not
think
like
that
a
goes-
Judge
I
thing.
think that goes to my argument.
why?
If you were playing with your favorite player, don't you think there'd be a highlight reel of how much you two love each other?
Well, Stanton doesn't have to love him.
I think that's the play.
But
is that
I think I would also put that on my side of the argument.
I think Stanton just doesn't give a shit.
I think there's a good argument for that. But I don't know.
No, I think it proves my point.
I kind of get from that is like Judge is a puppy that like wants to play and Stanton's the bigger dog that's like I'm actually good. Thanks though.
I also get the vibe that Stanton is the type of guy that just doesn't hang out with his teammates outside of the baseball field.
I've heard some rumors different to that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was told in private, but I think Stanton does like after the season, he throws
bash.
like a big bash of sorts. So I don't know.
We're going to have to keep an
Okay.
eye on that.
Feels like Matt energy, huh, Sam?
Sorry, continue.
Oh, my God.
Not good energy.
Sam was really wanting that one to land.
I think it helps my theory in my head.
Same.
All right, first topic, good energy, Matt energy. We're going to start off light, not dive into hardcore yet. High school players are going to be able to be drafted straight into the NBA. Obviously, this used to be a thing because LeBron, Kobe, all of them. Then it went away, and now it's back. 18, 19-year-olds are going to be able to go straight into it after high school. Good energy, Matt energy. Do we think this is great? Do we think this is bad? Well, do you think that...
Felt like Matt energy from Sam,
Do you think that
if I had to label that.
it's a good thing or a bad thing that maybe think about it in a baseball standpoint? Obviously, baseball players can go right out of high school. Like, do you think that's a good thing that they can go right out of high school or a bad thing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like, like I know in football you obviously need to go to college to get big because you're facing 350-pound players on the other end, and you can't be a scrawny 17-year-old kid that like hasn't hit puberty yet. And I guess that's not really there for basketball. And now with like NIL deals, guys, if they go to college, are already would be making the money that they making a contract. So I guess there's really no difference anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's good.
Indifferent.
Yeah,
Indifferent
I'm a
energy.
little indifferent energy. I'm so sorry.
It is good energy, Sam.
Okay.
I have good news for you. Yeah, let them go. If that is your opportunity to go get paid, go do it. There's no reason to hold them back. I mean, there's stories on each side of the spectrum. There's
Right.
guys that go to the NBA and they flame out, but
Mm-hmm.
they got paid a little bit. There's guys that have gone to college and haven't done as well there, so they never got paid. So if you can get paid, do it. And it's partially ruining the college game because college teams recruit these guys that are one and dones,
Yep.
and it's changed. College basketball is one of my favorite things. UConn is my one. I say they're my 1B with the Yankees.
Interesting.
And they switched conferences, and that sucked for a little bit, but now they're back. But the whole landscape of college basketball is like, it's super mid right now. And a good college basketball game is like tough to beat, environment-wise and everything. Like, so I think you help guys, and I think you help college basketball.
Is this going to make
that
it
way.
worse, though, that now just no good players are going to go to college basketball?
Good players will still go.
They'll go, but they'll be more committed to stay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's kind of one-and-done guys that have already made a conscious decision, like,
I'm done.
I'm done with this.
Yeah. And
so
I'm
you'll-
only going because
so
I have to.
Those guys
Right.
that go to the NBA, good. And then college programs, you'll have more stability of guys that stay there for 3 or 4 years, and you learn who they are, and like the program has
the
consistency.
fandom is allowed.
So then
to
is there a
build.
rule now that there's no one and done? Like if you go to college, you have to go for 3 years or whatever? You can still have one and done?
You can basically, I mean, it's kind of the same thing as the rule used to be. It's like 1 year. After that 1 year mark, you can declare that you're entering the draft at any point. So it's kind of after that high school mark, you can declare you're entering the draft at any point. But
But if you decide to go to college, why would you one and done? If you make
Oh,
the
yeah, I
choice
agree.
out of high school to
Like,
not
like,
go
if you
into the
hate it,
NBA,
hate your
why would
coach,
you
hate
one
your
and done?
players.
If you end up being incredible and you can be a top 3 pick,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's time to strike. But
Yeah, I agree
again,
with you.
that is the 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah.
Of the 1%.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be better for consistency for the game. That was going to be my point, was how it's going to affect college basketball. But also, sometimes guys go to college and get hurt, and it ruins their
Right.
career, and then they never get where they wanted to
Right.
go. So I'm on Jake's side, good energy.
yeah, I definitely think it's good energy too, because I don't think the gap between guys that would get drafted out of high school versus guys that would stay 2, 3, 4 years, I don't think that gap of talent is big enough to be detrimental to the game of college basketball. I think, yeah, sure, you're obviously always going to risk going and getting hurt where you could get signed out of high school, and who knows, you could get hurt in your first year in the NBA. But you end up making, millions of dollars. But I think NIL deals, especially for those top athletes, are hopefully going to balance out that money gap in that regard. But definitely good energy. Glad we all agree
Sweep.
with that. All right, Nyquil Chicken. New internet sensation that this is kind of in the same realm of Tide Pods. Basically, the FDA has come out and been like, stop doing the Nyquil Chicken Challenge, which it's basically cooking chicken in NyQuil. Good energy or meh energy? That it's shockingly dangerous.
I have questions.
I just don't get it.
Why chicken?
Why any
You could
part of this?
You could like soak a piece of watermelon in NyQuil if you really wanted to. Why are we cooking the? Not that I would do it regardless, but it
Yeah.
sounds disgusting.
Yeah. Everything about this leaves me speechless.
I'm not sure, but experts recommend sticking to traditional marinades, apparently.
This is so ridiculous.
I'm not a science guy. Cut the tape. I mean, if it's the proper dosage of NyQuil,
It's called sleepy chicken.
and we're consuming it through Chicky before bed, is it that different than eating your chicken and taking your NyQuil? I don't know. I would have to have some of the experts chime in on that. Yeah.
It's basically
Good energy.
Okay. Basically, you would be consuming half a bottle, if not more,
See, that's the problem.
of NyQuil.
That's where I would say meh energy.
So you wouldn't cook
If
it
it's
in
a-
it, maybe dip it in
If
it.
it's a proper dosage, why not?
I'm out. I don't.
Why?
Again, if you wanted to do the proper dosage, why would you pick chicken? I just think there's a
Why would
better
you-
thing
yeah.
you could do it with.
Just take the NyQuil. It's not like it's going to taste great.
Put it in a smoothie, soak some fruit in it.
Maybe this is a pickleback shot thing where there's pickle juice and there's whiskey, and you're like, these probably don't get along, but chicken and NyQuil, bang.
It's bad. It's
Sam says good energy.
awful
Yeah,
energy.
You sold me.
It's awful energy.
Okay.
Um,
Not a
did you
sweet-
think Tide Pods were a good idea?
Jake did the Tide Pod challenge.
I
You
never
did it?
Tide Pod. No, no, no. I get it. Like Tide Pods look delicious. I was telling Sam this about the bouncy balls yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't love bouncy balls growing up because some of them look delicious, and I couldn't eat them.
That is
You did
actually
say that.
quite funny.
That pink and clear one, that looks like the tastiest lollipop top I've ever
Gumball.
seen. Yes.
And so, do you still look at Tide Pods and think
Oh,
candy?
no, I just get it. Like, I imagine being a kid and looking at one of those and be like, yeah, I fuck with that.
Okay. All right.
Don't recommend it, though.
Not
I do
yeah.
think that don't eat Tide Pods.
Don't.
I think we're past that.
We're hopefully. Well, I don't know. We're
Yeah.
cooking
Yeah.
chicken
Who's to
and
say?
NyQuil. So are we? Next topic. This one's interesting. Adam Levine cheated on his pregnant wife, which happens to be a Victoria's Secret model, and then had the audacity to ask his mistress if he can use her name for their future child. Good energy or meh energy?
I'm gonna say pretty bad.
So he's pregnant
whose
with his
name?
wife.
So
He wants to name his wife's baby the mistress's name,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
That's the headline.
It's
I
a cool
saw.
name, but
Okay.
no.
It is a cool name.
Sumner.
So there's good energy here. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I have always hated Adam Levine.
Okay.
Have you?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's all bullshit, and it's being revealed now. Maroon 5, kind of mid. There's a couple tracks that get you going, sure. The female fascination with Adam Levine is bullshit. I think he's 5'9", if that. We'll see. Haven't sized him up, but interested to see. If you saw Adam Levine at a bar, he's just kind of a squirrely guy that is whatever. But because he's Maroon 5
It's the
Adam
tats.
Levine and Victoria's Secret Adam Levine, like, he's mid. He's mid. And now it's all coming out that he's a bad guy and good.
I hate to tell you this, but squirrely guy at the bar that's just whatever is my type.
It is
Yes.
actually
I mean, it's-
spot on.
Unfortunately, that is my
Spot
type.
on.
Taylor, I've made a living off of it. Like that's, I don't know what to tell you. So, but no, I guess the whole thing that, like, he was put on this pantheon of like hottest guys,
Yeah.
and he should have just never been in that realm. He sings all right. He's not bad looking, but to put him in the realm of like the studs, no, it was all fake reputation. Guy in a band dating Victoria's Secret model that gave him like he was an early Pete Davidson, if we're being real fucking honest.
like
on him.
wow, hot
So
take.
did you
Okay.
hate his Super Bowl performance? Halftime
I
show?
mean, I've always been out on him.
So you didn't even watch it?
I mean, I watched it.
And
But you didn't enjoy watching it.
Just not an Adam Levine guy.
That's okay. Neither is anyone now, so.
What do we think about just having the balls to ask
The
said
gall.
mistress? Can I use your name? I love your name. We're gonna name our future kid after you.
That's a absolutely batshit crazy thing to do.
Baffling.
Yeah.
I'm new to good energy, bad energy, meh energy. I'm getting meh vibes from that.
Huge
Yeah.
meh.
I kept
What
seeing
are we
people
doing?
post like she knew he was married, and someone made a TikTok like, you know who knew he was married? He did.
Yeah.
He showed up at the wedding and said the vows. I was like, yes, thank you, and then wants to name his baby after her.
Psychotic.
What is if you don't mind me,
Hmm.
what is a kid's name that is ruined for you from someone growing up?
Corey.
Here's one.
That
is
was
Hey,
so
Sam was
bad.
ready.
Rooted.
Didn't prep her on that one.
No.
I had this conversation the other day, but that name was always in my head.
I don't know that I have one.
Really?
Yeah, I like
That's good.
more weird names, I think. And growing up, we grew up
Like,
in the
there's-
generation of incredibly basic names.
Like there's not
Yeah.
if you had a kid and you're like, here's my kid, that your friend group wouldn't roast you for and be like, oh my God, just like Josh Davidson.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I would have to think about, but not any names that I like.
Yeah,
Well,
that's my
not
thing.
the point. But there's a
there just
reason you
names?
don't like them.
I mean,
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's names from elementary school that, like, I have eliminated because knowing them from growing up, I was like, oh my God, like, I can't have that mental comparison of my kid and them throughout the years.
Fair.
Similar to Adam Levine and his whore.
So you never, Adam, you can never name a kid Adam.
no Adam.
Oh, I'm out on Adam.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm out on Drew.
Oh, see, that's
Cassidy.
one of my top names. Drew's one of my top names.
No, I'm out on Drew. I'm out on Cassidy. I'm out on
Cassidy.
Matt. I just want to start listing my ex's names
Okay.
now. So,
Okay.
Fair.
Oh, yeah. I do have one.
what is it?
It's Max. It's a name I really like, but I just couldn't. And not because of Max Manus in this
No.
office.
Or is it? You can
It's
tell
not.
us.
Coming from someone with a dog's name, Max is more dog than guy.
One of my friends from high school's
Yeah.
dog was named Max.
It's
and
That's part of my reason.
10 of 10 dog name, 5.5 human name.
There's a dog and a human being that I both.
Right.
Yeah.
Jake, 10 out of 10 dog name. Human name, 4.3.
I disagree. I think Jake's a really good name.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's
Short,
fine.
simple, to the point.
Yeah.
What if you could change your name? What would it be?
Now we're talking.
Here we are.
So I really like the name Adrian for a
Oh.
boy. Adrian, like Adrian Beltre. I also kind of like it for a girl, Adrienne, with E and E at the end.
What would be nickname?
So we'll see. I guess for a girl, you could go like Addie. I don't love that necessarily.
'Cause
I like the
Adderall.
name Adrian.
I actually really like Addie. I think that's cute.
Yeah.
It can be cute.
Sans
For a
drug.
young girl, I think it's cute. I mean, pro-drug. I don't know.
Yeah, because then you grow up, and are you going to be
Right.
an adult named Addie? I get what you're saying.
My cousin Dean changed their name, which is okay. So I don't know. I mean, talk about an interesting process.
I almost legally changed my name. So my middle name is Paxton and my first name is Kelsey.
Right.
There was a period of time. It used to piss me off more than
Right.
anything when people would be like Kelsey Elrod, and I'm like, God, it's Paxton. I would get in fights with Southwest people all the time. TSA people hated me because Paxton was on my ticket for the longest time, and they would like threaten to never let me fly again. So I went through like the beginning like process of
wow.
changing it to Paxton first. And then it just felt weird. I was like, I feel like I'm losing a piece of my identity
Yeah.
already this far in life, and I don't want to let it go. So then I leaned into Kelsey. So Kelsey Paxton, here we are.
KP.
Yeah.
I always forget that about you, and then I remember.
I-
I'm like, that's so crazy.
I forget. I will walk out of this room 5 minutes from now and not remember.
No.
Yeah.
Because
It's
I'm not a Kelsey.
It doesn't stay with me.
You aren't a Kelsey.
I'm not a Kelsey at all.
Maybe it's because we also
Our
have
Kelsey,
the Kelsey
brain space has been consumed.
Yeah.
It has. It has.
Yeah.
My parents, I was the firstborn, so my parents were just worried that they were going to give me a weird name and scar me for life, and I was just going to spiral because my name was Paxton, had an X in it or something. But it's ended up working out great for me, so shout out Mom and Dad.
My nephew is named Emmett Fox. And they really want to go Fox with the first name, but you're playing with fire a little bit. I mean,
A former boss of mine at the D-backs, Fox, first
Fox?
name. Kid.
I mean, if it clicks, it's money. If you go a little off the deep end,
You're off the deep.
It
it
could
gets
get dark.
risky.
Yeah.
It gets
It gets
risky.
But
Dark.
his full name is Fox Wilcox, so he's obviously going to
Oh.
be a college quarterback
Wow.
or
Fox
a rock
Wilcox.
star.
Yeah.
And then they had another son, Maverick. So they have Fox and Maverick. So
those
they're
are strong
actually the
names.
coolest
Guess
children to ever
what?
exist.
What are we doing? Like, let's have fun. Why not?
People used
I
to
love those
bash Kim and Kanye all the time for these like weird ass kid names, but like making it interesting, you know?
Elon went a little too far.
Yeah.
He
Too
always
far.
does.
Too far.
Mhm.
Always does.
Too far.
Good for him.
Sam, you got any names you love?
Oh, tons. I did just come to the conclusion that when I get a dog, my dog's name will be Nemo.
It's very
That's
cute.
Do you like that?
Jake
like
doesn't.
it.
He doesn't feel like he
I like
likes
it.
it.
I'm curious how you got there.
I love
Known for the fish, traditionally.
yeah. I love when dogs or animals are named other animals, like a dog named like Duck.
Right.
or like a dog named Goose. I
Right.
think that's so funny.
Right.
And then I was in my room thinking about it, and in my room I have a photo.
So when did you name the dog Fish?
Ooh.
Because I think Nemo's just a little bit cool. I think Nemo's a great
That's
name.
a
I also
step up.
love Finding Nemo the movie.
Yeah.
It's one of my faves. And I thought that was amazing. For humans, I love the name Delilah because Hey There Delilah is my favorite song ever.
That's cute.
I love the name Leland.
That's
I read a book with a character named Leland.
For
and
a
I was like,
human?
oh. Yeah, for a girl.
I didn't know if we were still talking dogs. or not.
No,
Okay.
we're on humans.
We
Okay.
moved.
I love Leland and Delilah and Quincy.
Okay.
I think is a cool name.
I like Quincy. Is that girl or guy?
Originally, I thought girl, but I think it could also go boy.
Yeah.
It could.
I
Very
think
cool.
Oh.
I lean Quincy for guy.
Oh, my other good dog name is Ernie.
It's a good name.
Yeah, that's a cute
That's
name.
a good name. My favorite name, and if I have a daughter, this will be her name, is Sutton. I
Like
think
that.
it's the prettiest name.
Yeah.
Kind of goes in the same neighborhood as my name.
Yeah.
And if you end up back in Tennessee, like that's
I was going to
perfect.
say, it also fits your
It's so
southernness.
southern. Yeah.
I'm also just not considering my future husband whatsoever in that regard, but
Yeah.
that will be my daughter's name. Everything else
I
we
love
can
that.
discuss
So
later.
my parents, who got divorced when I was young,
We crying about that yet?
one of the best things I think they had was they said, boy, dad gets to name it. Girl,
cool.
mom gets to name it. And I love that rule.
I
That's
like.
good.
I've never
I love
heard that.
that
I
one.
love that a lot too.
And that's why my sister has a beautiful name,
Yeah.
Renee Concetta, and I'm named Jake Ronald,
You want to know?
which is kind of like the ugliest combination of letters you could put in two names back to back.
You guys want to know something crazy? So two of my best friends are pregnant right now, and guy, girl, husband, wife. And there's this new app that is like a dating app that both of you download, and you link your accounts, and you basically just swipe through names that you like or
Yes,
dislike,
I've heard of this.
and it'll tell you when you match.
I like that.
Is that
Yeah.
not? When she was telling me about that, I was like, that is brilliant.
Just for
That's
the pure,
really
like,
cool.
fun activity.
Just like a game, yeah.
Even if you're not. With
And so it's
child.
not constantly like, do you like this? No. Do you
You
like
just
this?
gotta be
No.
careful though, because if you have one of those like Sunday Bumble sessions where it's like you're just kind of leaning right, and then you get cornered into a name, then that's forever. That's life.
I'm gonna download that app like tonight and play.
That's
Are you trying to tell us something?
No, I love names.
Oh, there's TikTok accounts where people are like, people will request like, I want a more old-fashioned name that's not too long, and then someone will come up with a list
Yeah.
like these are names that
Yeah.
fit your. I think that's. I watch them all. I'm like,
And
this
the
is,
videos are so pretty with the
Love
nicest
names.
sounds.
I have a
Yeah.
huge list on my phone of
I do
names
too.
that I love.
I also have a list
I
on
do
my
too.
phone.
Jake, do you have a list?
I almost have no lists ever in my life.
you
Not.
have Adrian though.
I've always liked the name Adrian. I think it plays for both sexes. And I don't know. I don't know. I think Jess and I stumbled into something.
She must have a list.
What was it?
Sure, she does.
Her grandma. There was a middle name that we were both like was Flames for a girl.
Okay, think about it and let us know.
Yeah, maybe I'll message. I mean,
I would love to know
if
it,
that
actually.
doesn't warm her heart. Me messaging her that on midday.
seriously.
I mean,
She's
On
gonna
a
be like,
Wednesday.
and I just don't know what I can do.
that's true.
Jake, do you want to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
My full name is Taylor Elizabeth Jackson.
Okay.
Audio Jack and his siblings are Jack, Taylor, and Elizabeth.
Whoa.
Isn't that creepy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything around Audio Jack's a little creepy.
Oh no, this is gonna accidentally turn into roasting Audio Jack.
And let's
Got
go
it.
to that.
Audio Jack and Dan Rourke found an
Living
apartment.
together.
Oh wait, they found a place?
Yes.
I did not know they were living together. Hold
Yeah.
on.
You didn't know this until right now?
They're not yet. They just found an apartment and they will be roommates.
They're
soon.
moving in Hoboken.
Audio
It's the
Jack
best.
told me that he found an apartment. I just did not know it was
Yeah,
with
it's with
Dan.
Dan Work.
What a combo.
How do we think that's going to go? Probably. I mean, they
Swimmingly.
balance,
I
right?
was gonna
I think
use
it's-
that word, and I'm so happy I didn't let out the noise, because then I would have been like,
Like,
then it would have been a clip. Honestly, there might be a replay where I think I was just about to be like, so I'm glad I didn't say that. I think they are the perfect, where
Yeah.
you need opposites attract and to be aligned.
Yeah.
I think they are going to be beautiful.
Completely
I
agree.
think Dan will do most of the chit chat.
Yeah.
I think Jack will do most of the listening.
But Jack,
but I think it'll work.
He can.
Jack, if he's into something, he will get very involved.
I think it's so great.
And I think, Dan,
so great.
I think Dan will go away on the weekends sometimes, do some Jersey stuff with his family, and that's usually nice in a roommate relationship when you have some balance there. I'm trying to picturing those two going out for a night is really interesting.
Or like decorating the apartment for Christmas or Halloween.
So the only piece of information we have. So let's put all this in the pot.
Okay.
Let's rack up some fucking amp hours.
I was just going to let you know, we're just going to stay on for an extra half hour, but if you have obligations, you can bounce.
Oh, we're racking up time.
Okay.
I ordered a salad, maybe when that gets here.
Okay.
So let's put all this on the table.
Okay.
Dan Rourke
Yeah.
is Dan Rourke.
He is.
There's a lot going on. The information we have on Dan Rourke as a roommate currently would be his apartment he was living in by himself. What do we know about it?
Very small.
Smaller apartment, but he kept it very tidy. Or at least anytime we got an update on social media, it was very tidy, which could be the problem with our generation, right?
Yes.
Maybe we were
Highlight
only
reel.
getting those
True.
updates. Audio Jack, what do we know? Lived in Scotland for a period of time by his lonesome. I think he did a semester 2 at college, which kind of counts as
commuted.
that. But yeah, so not exactly. He's been at home since, I believe. So what do we know about Audio Jack? He survived in Scotland by himself, and he seems like not necessarily a lone wolf, but a guy that doesn't mind being alone.
Yeah.
Hello, looking in the mirror. I think they're going to be a fantastic pairing. I think there's a respect there that they know they can't cross because they're also colleagues. So with that, I think it's going to be great.
It's so perfect.
I think they'll also both use each other to be social.
Ooh,
Dan,
okay.
Dan needs to go out more.
Yeah.
We can't even get him here half the time.
Right.
And I think Jack wants to go out more, but
Yeah.
needs the right push and the right person.
Needs someone.
And
Needs a
to get
wingman.
hyped about it and like
yeah.
to make it a
and
good
Dan,
fun night. And
if
Dan
Jack
will.
suggests going out, Dan's going to be like, you know what? Hell yeah, Jack, let's go out. Dan's putting on his outfit immediately. Like, he's
Right.
ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's already wearing his outfit.
That's
True.
a good point.
He's putting on a headband.
I hate when Joe's is funny because it sucks. There was a redheaded baby a couple rows in front of us that was wearing a Yankees cutoff T-shirt.
Oh, no.
He just goes, Jake, Dan Rourke. Like, God damn it, Joe's. He was right.
Oh.
He was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good balance.
I'm excited for them.
I'm just envisioning them watching a baseball game together in the living room. And I
Yeah.
can see it perfectly.
Yeah.
I can see Dan pacing, freaking out, maybe
Screaming.
yelling, face palm right in front of the TV. I don't think Audio Jack's moving the entire game.
Yeah.
Maybe to get a beer, but he's staying put.
I
Just
could
sitting
also
on his
see
corner.
I could also see Dan doing Dan and Jack slipping out of the room to
Yeah.
go watch anime elsewhere and Dan
Not
not
knowing.
even knowing.
Oh, Dan will have
1,000,000,000%.
conversations with Jack while he was not there.
For sure.
I think an interesting dynamic of that I'm going to look into. I think both of them have a slight video game side. And that's intriguing with roommates, right? Because how competitive do you get? What games are we
How
playing?
late
are
do you
we,
stay up?
Are we on the same level of those video games? That can be a tricky dynamic.
Can.
I will tap into that.
Kyle wants me to tell you to accept the Talking Yanks collab on Instagram.
So mid.
So mid.
Accept collab whenever you get a chance. Up, dude.
But then text me
Say it.
and says,
Sounds
tell,
like you-
like,
sounds
tell
like-
Jake to
tell him.
accept the collab.
Okay.
That's really funny.
Popular guy.
Is this your vlog getting posted?
Could be.
I think it is.
Tagged in a reel. Review.
I'm sure that-
accept.
You didn't even review it. You just looked at it and clicked it. That's trust. That is trust in your coworkers.
I've got nothing to lose. At this point, everything's on the internet. I'm over it.
If someone were to Google your name or search it on YouTube, what's the worst thing that they would find?
The worst thing?
The most embarrassing, the one you can't even go back and watch, just the skin crawling thing for you that they would find.
What would be this is a fun game. Well, let's start here. I remember when we were first doing this and we're like, oh shoot, this is becoming a real thing. Doing like the Twitter search of old tweets at Talkin' Jake and searching all of the bad words and being like, just flashing back through 10 years of your life and being like, I mean, no way. Luckily, it was pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, some cursing that you don't like. But no, those results ended up being good, which I was happy about. I guess embarrassing piece of content. Embarrassing is a really tough word for me because
I know.
It's tough.
There's not many.
It's tough. I don't know. When Jimmy put his beard on my face, that's pretty gross in general.
True.
That was pretty gross. I can't believe I didn't think it would be gross. I was like 100% in my head, like, this will be fine. I almost threw up.
Oh, wow.
I almost threw up.
That bad, huh?
I mean, it's like dead hair being glued to your face, like under my nose.
Oh,
and stuff.
and you
Yeah.
just smell it.
Ugh.
So that's pretty gross. I don't know. I don't. Again, embarrassing for me. That's tough.
Do you have anything that, maybe not a video, but maybe
Sure.
what would make you embarrassed? If that is so tough.
Let's see. I don't know. There's one. I mean, again, I've lived a few lives. I lived in, I mentioned a little bit of Dallas, Jake here. Sad Sunday swipes on the Bumble machine, but I don't know. Like I've lived a few different lives. There's part of me that it's stuff that's not on the internet. That if it was like out, I'd be like, oh.
Oh,
Don't love it.
that.
Yeah.
not a fan.
But it's not on the internet. So
True.
I don't know. It'd have to be something that embarrasses more than just me, right? It'd have to embarrass Jess. It'd have to embarrass my family, like
Noodle.
something like that. Nudes, Senor Nudes. So yeah, myself, my threshold is at probably not a good place.
What was the bet that
Okay, now we're talking.
you did
Sam had something.
with Jimmy for him to shave your beard and put it on you? I can't remember.
I think we just got a certain amount of followers
Oh,
before
yeah.
like an end of year or something like that.
Yeah.
I had to kiss Noodle's butt because Greg Bird hit a homer off of Andrew Miller.
You had to lick
Lips?
like sand or something, or his Noodle's paw, or wasn't there a shoe?
There's
you
always a
remember that?
shoe.
Do you lick the bottom of a shoe? Willingly?
Yeah.
Did someone lick
Definitely.
sand?
There might have been a broom involved. Yeah, I don't know.
Just
Done it
another
all.
day.
Didn't make sense, but it happened.
Would you do those things now?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know just for content purposes.
Yeah.
We just started that video dump Slack channel, so.
Honestly, so this is fears. Now we're talking. Sean Evans, Hot Ones,
Good one.
is a fan of our stuff. If somehow, some way, which, let's be honest, there is a world where it could happen. If we did a Hot Ones, I don't do spicy. That, like, there is a chance I could be getting to those, like, middle three wings that fuck people up, and I would be like, you'd see a different Jake.
So
You'd see the eyes change, like the fun gloss would turn.
you've never done
This is kind of fucked up.
one chip challenge. I mean, I have all
I
of
know
the
you
hot
do.
candy
I know.
that we could do.
If we do the hot chip challenge, there's a chance like a different Jake comes out.
I almost threw up when I did it, so. And I can do hot things. The toe of Satan
can't.
sucker is pretty bad. You have to keep the sucker in your mouth for 5 minutes. I lasted 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Did you guys see Paxton grab the hot pipe yesterday?
Yeah, he's like concerned.
The pipe's not that hot.
You
What are we
guys could
talking
do
about?
it as
The
well.
pipe?
It's right outside the door.
So, yeah, there's that hot pipe, and they were like, ooh, office competition. Let's see who can hold it the longest. And they could hold it for what? Like maybe 5 to 10 seconds, something like that. We get burnt all the time. 450
All the
degree.
time.
Curling iron, straightener to the neck, everything. So
I
I
want to
just
make it an office competition.
My shower feels like hell to some people. Like, I just burn
Yeah.
myself. I think I could be fine.
I held it for a while,
I-
and I just let go because I was bored.
I have no qualms. I'm interested to see because I think me, Joe's, a couple other people we weren't obviously in competition, so there wasn't a push, but it was just like no, and Paxton was like bored.
I was.
Because
like,
my finger, I probably have no
No.
fingerprints anymore because I've burned myself in my curling iron.
I've
straighteners
grabbed
for
it so
10
many
years.
times. Just bare hand. So many times.
Burning hot shower, like scary.
Like hot.
Okay.
Like
It's
There
not-
was no descriptive words. I
Like-
was looking for a descriptive.
yeah, like pretty
Facial
like pretty
expressions.
damn hot.
like painful.
PDH.
Not
pretty damn.
Not painful to me though.
But like in that initial burn, you're like, and then you're like, ah.
Yeah, but then sometimes I'll try and go down. I'm like, okay, relax, and I'll like
Right,
put it
a little
down.
tweak.
Absolutely not. Right back up.
I'm
like-
thinking of getting more in the cold shower game. I feel like whenever I do it, I don't regret it. But it's also to do it is like a
Just do it for 30 seconds at the end of your shower.
Yeah.
like the end.
Yeah, that's what I
Right
do.
before you get out.
Do you do a slow, gradual like boop boop boop, or do you do a?
I mean,
do
it
a
doesn't turn ice cold, so it's not
Yeah.
that bad. But
I do a gradual inserting of the body and back into the water. I don't go full. I go face first and then like wiggle my way back into the cold water.
What are you doing?
I actually understood exactly what you meant.
Thank you. Thank you.
You had that?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
turns it cold, but she's not in the shower. Then once
you
it gets
just
cold, she starts with her
go.
head and kind of like wiggles back in.
So it's basically, think about when you ease into a cooler pool.
Right.
You go feet first, but it's just opposite. I go head first.
And that's why we're the girls.
This is the girls' room.
We get each other.
Are you feeling as if you are growing as a person?
I don't know.
Okay, that's
I don't
good.
know.
Who's to say, really?
That's good.
Okay. Okay. What else do we have to cover? Hit me rapid fire, everyone. Same time. 3, 2, 1.
What would you do if you found out that you had a corgi that was related to the Queen's corgi?
I love corgis. They are the dog I relate the most to.
I
feel
could
like
so see that.
I'm a corgi in human form.
That's a good comparison.
So I wouldn't be shocked if I was related to the Queen's corgi.
got it.
You, human being.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, science.
Science.
See, you guys have it.
Science.
Sam, your question?
would you come back on the girls' room?
I am announcing myself as the fourth host.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
We absolutely
That's
love
huge.
that.
Perfect.
Taylor?
How far are the Mets going to go in the playoffs?
Ooh.
It's a great question. I have the Braves or the Mets coming out of the National League, and I don't know which one.
So you're on the train of the Dodgers not making it either. That's the train Taylor and I are on.
I obviously love their team and their lineup. Their pitching just leaves you something blah. That when they need that big outing, that's been Walker Buehler. That's been, other guys for the Dodgers that we'll see. I know they have a pitching lab, and they also bullpen a lot. Like, it kind of got ignored, but they bullpenned World Series games, and it worked for them, and that's fine. And even the Braves did that last year. So, like, if you can line up the right guys inning per inning, it can work. But I don't know how it's going to work out for the Braves because unfortunately, the way my brain works is it leaves every avenue open. And I think the wild card may not. I think it's going to end up giving a team an advantage. And I don't know if I truly believe that or if I just believe in sports so much that, say, the Mets win the East. Yay. Good job, the Mets. Actually, I want to switch it for this example. Braves win the East. Sorry, Taylor. Braves won the East. Mets got caught. They go to the wild card. They dominate. DeGrom, Scherzer, even if they go to 3, Bassett, whatever. Mets are a really good team. Not a problem. They go into whoever they would play next, Dodgers or Braves.
Cards?
Well, no, if they were the wild card, they would go and play the 1 or 2, which would be Dodgers
Dodgers or Braves, yeah.
I think it would be the Braves because they would be the 2. Yeah, and the Mets would be the best wild card team. So it would be Mets-Braves, right? 5-game set, division rivals. Whoa. If the Mets win one of those first 2 games without Scherzer and DeGrom, which is very feasible, then they are lined up for the rest of the series. That like devil's advocate sports person in me says, like, I almost would rather have that than Scherzer DeGrom games 1 and 2, because if you lose one of those games, which is equally as possible because it's fucking baseball, then you're now in your own trap. So I don't know. I think both of those teams are so battle tested from themselves, from the Phillies. I think the Dodgers haven't. I don't think they've fully been tested, and I obviously love their lineup, but I'm not going to buy into the pitching until they do it.
I've been saying this since the beginning of baseball. I think the Dodgers are the Lakers of the MLB. I think they're great on paper. I think they have all of the tools and the assets, and it should make a lot of sense. But there's just something that doesn't click. There's something that, I mean, they've been great on paper for the past few years. And, like, why haven't they won multiple, like, World Series?
I think I also believe in motivation, obviously. I think everyone does. But Freddie just got the bag. He just won in Atlanta. I don't know how much he thinks he has to prove being Freddie Freeman. Mookie Betts is Mookie Betts with the Red Sox and the Dodgers in 2020. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's Mookie Betts. He's good. Trey Turner, in a way, has something to prove. He's also hitting free agency. He's about to get his bag. Like, whatever. Cool. Love you, Trey Turner. The rest of those Dodgers, a lot of them have won that 2020 World Series. At the time, we all let it happen. People will get loud on them if they go down 2-1 in a series, if they go down 3-1 in a series. And when that noise gets loud, I don't think Mookie or Freddie or their stars, I mean, they're like, well, I'm who I am. Like, I'm going to do my thing, and it doesn't affect my legacy at all. Like, Mookie's got the Boston one.
Yep.
Freddie's got Atlanta. Like, I don't know. For what the other teams are trying to prove, I think the Braves trying to run it back and Ronald Acuna Jr. not being a part of last year's team, I think that's massively important. And Matt Olson being on that team, trying to prove himself. And they're just loaded with talent. And then the whole Mets storyline. I mean, Scherzer can be like king of – like he has an argument to be – if they were to win the World Series, he has an argument to be like a top 3 pitcher of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, that being said, the Dodgers could easily roll, but I don't know. Every sports fan has a little bit like, I don't know, Dodgers. Like, let's give us a real one, and then we'll kind of bend the knee to you and be like, you guys are all powerful, but they got to do that.
I don't know why for me it feels like the Dodgers are the least hungry out of all of the teams.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an LA thing. Maybe we're East Coast snobs.
Yeah, maybe they just feel
We
too
are.
relaxed.
Yeah.
Do they feel too relaxed?
Yeah, why aren't you,
Yeah.
aren't you guys angry?
Why are you as stressed as
Why are
we
you
are?
Just having fun.
Freddie Freeman wins another batting title, and Mookie's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, why are these guys relaxed and winning? What losers.
No, I definitely agree.
That's where we've been, Pax and I have been.
whole time.
Yeah. Just that we don't think that they are as strong as years past. Despite having 103 for many wins.
I don't think they're a bad baseball team. I just don't think that they are. I don't think they have the passion and the storyline and the gas behind them to make it all the way to the playoffs.
I mean, their storyline would have to be they don't believe their 2020 title is real. So they feel they have to verify that, but they would never say that.
Right.
Like,
They don't give me-
We don't think our World Series is legit.
Yeah, they don't give me we have to prove ourselves
At all.
energy.
Right.
At all.
And you need a little bit of that to make it through postseason, especially
Trey Turner
in baseball.
was with the Nats. I missed that. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's one of the at the week I could be back on the girls' room early November saying, well, those Dodgers, they
Proved
were
us wrong.
it's the easiness of sports talk where you say, well, they were battle tested. Trey Turner won it with the Nats. Mookie won it. Freddie won it. That they were calm, cool, collective, and they won it. It was easy. They're the best team. Or you get in front of the mic and you're like, these guys, they're just not tough.
Yeah,
They're
just
not
bad enough.
No, they need Jeff McNeil.
A guy nicknamed the Flying Squirrel.
Actually.
Yeah.
Exactly
The
what they
Dodgers
need.
don't have that.
There's just something more exciting about a Braves-Mets series than a Braves-Dodgers, Mets-Dodgers.
My stomach immediately started hurting
Yeah.
when
Exactly.
you said Braves Mets.
That's I firmly believe the Mets-Braves series at the end of regular season is going to be one of the best series of regular season. Truthfully, I think it's when it's going to come down
Scary.
Terrifying, some
A little
say.
scary.
Not me, others.
Not you. So much Mets talk.
to. We love it.
Enough. Yankees just had the game of their life last
God,
season.
did we not open the show with the Yanks?
Literally the
It's
first.
been too long.
We
I'd like
backpaged
to
it.
talk-
Can we go
I'd
back
like
to
to talk
Yankees?
about it
We,
again.
we
Rolling
talked
your
Yanks.
eyes.
We got away. We came back to
I'd
Judge
like
and
to bring it
Stanton
back.
a second time.
Right.
I'd like to bring it back.
I agree with Sam. There was not enough Yankees.
How do you feel about the Yankees against the Astros?
Ooh.
Horrified.
Okay, so similar energy to me.
Horrified. I mean, if they do it again, it's like all over. It's all over. You've been dominated by this team.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I know Sam doesn't want to talk about, but Judge's free agency. I mean, you want to talk about. There's going to be some clicks for the company there. We are going to find out if the beloved team that me and Sam love, and we have been emotional at the end of baseball season. It's one of my favorite days at Jomboy Media because it's so miserable, and that's who I am. Because any kind of emotion is good, I think. When the Yankees season ends. To see everyone turn into a ghost. Just instantly. Because a baseball team lost. If that happens again to the Astros, it's our team has been not up to par for 13 years. Do we believe in our ownership? Do we believe in our front office? The baby bombers, it's like done. If they don't resign Judge, and I say this in a very loving way, Taylor, you have to understand. If the Yankees don't re-sign Judge, they are now the Mets.
100%. 100%.
For those not watching, Sam just threw up.
She's queasy.
So, no, it's a sneaky big one. It's a sneaky big one for the Yanks as a team. Because if Aaron Judge, the best player in baseball, gets outbid by another team. I was talking to Jess about this the other night because she's newer to baseball and learning some of the dynamics. Like, that the Yankees that we grew up to know and love, that was an impossibility. That could not happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the closer and closer we get to it, the more and more I think it's going to happen.
Really?
So if you have a World Series ring and it's Freddie Freeman and Judge gets $450 million and the Yankees say, we bid you adieu, Yankee fans, unfortunately, would make that deal and come to grips with it. If you don't win the World Series and you lose the best player,
it's a joke.
You're not the New York Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
You are not the team that is in the logos in music videos, the music scene around the world. You are no longer that team. And if they don't realize that, it'll be a problem. We live in a funny sports world because you grow up in a sports world and we learn about these teams and we're all in our 20s. I'm not.
Close. You're close.
We're all in the 25 to 35 age range.
Turned 33 in October. We have images of sports towns and sports cities. Mm-hmm. Buffalo, New York used to have an NBA team, like before our lifetime. But Oakland, what do you think we're going to think about Oakland in 30 years?
Yeah.
They lost Golden State, essentially, across the bay. They lost the Raiders. And they're probably going to lose the A's.
Yep.
Like, Golden State used to be kind of a laughable franchise. They are now, like, one of the NBA's premier franchises.
Dynasty.
The Yankees aren't careful. Like, you become... the Cincinnati Reds used to be the big red machine.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How often are they in the forefront of your mind? You have New York City. You have the Yankees. But you start walking a thinner and thinner line every year.
Dynasties and legacies don't last forever if you don't keep them up in some regard.
So,
what do
This
you
is
got
where the
on?
show
this isn't
turned
the
dark.
Yankees talk we wanted.
What do you got on Nikki? Did you see Nikki's poll last night on his Instagram story?
I refuse to vote.
The best player in baseball?
How do you actually feel about
Aaron
It's
Judge?
a BS question.
Judge and Ohtani, like this MVP debate? Not who should win it. Like, how do you feel about them having to be the two against each other?
I've gone incredibly soft in my old age that we just talked about.
The ripe age of 32?
I think I have genuinely talked myself into it, and it's the least American thing in the world. I want co-MVPs. What Ohtani is doing is incredibly special. He is pitching and hitting. No one has ever done that. And he's, as one of the new arguments, he's basically gotten better than last year when he won the MVP. And, there's clearly an argument, and it's the beauty of sports. It's, debate shows unfortunately ruin it, and running away from it is also the problem. And maybe I'm just, again, too soft in my old age. But, what are we doing? If what Ohtani is doing is so special, which it is, and most valuable, can Aaron Judge pitch? No, he cannot. Can Ohtani hit like Judge has hit this year? No, he cannot. And where do you draw the line and how valuable that is in winning teams and losing teams? I very much still believe in that to some aspect. It should matter. If they traded spots, do I think the Angels are a good team? No. Would the Yankees still be in first place? Most likely. Mm-hmm. So, most valuable player, it's why it's a loaded question. And if it was most outstanding player, that would be even a more wild conversation. Because valuable, again, brings it back. Well, actually, valuable probably brings it more back to it. It gets crazy, right? You can talk yourself in circles. Yeah. So, and now that I have business Jake going on, I'm a very successful businessman. I think baseball should lean into it. I think that would also be the smartest move. Because then you have the chance. Jeter night at the stadium. I ran into 3 blokes from London that came to the game for Derek Jeter night. Derek Jeter. Like an international star. Because he was the shortstop on the Yankees and they won World Series. We don't have any of that now. Mike Trout is not an international star. Not even close. If Ohtani and Judge won co-MVPs, it would be a story, I think, around the world. And it would be this massive man in New York City on the Yankees, who people are already familiar with. He's larger than life. He's 6'7", 280. He broke the home run record. How special is this guy? They won the World Series, Sam. And Ohtani. How special is this guy? He's doing something that we haven't seen in 100 years, and he's genuinely very good at both of them. It's not half-assed either way. He is already an international star to his own degree. Whenever I hear there's a co-MVP from previous years, I've never heard one old bag or anyone be like, rah, 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 rah. Guess what? We'll forget in 10 years and we'll say, yeah, those guys were awesome. Think of the marketing baseball could do with that. Give me an anything you can do, I can do better marketing campaign with Shohei and Judge, and baseball is like fucking baseball. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's me being soft. I don't know if it's me buying into the business side. I don't know if it's a sports conversation that doesn't have a proper answer. / the proper answer, if I'm being honest and unbiased, is Judge. Because most valuable player should come from a team that is succeeding. Yes. And I know people suck and they pull the strings at that because I get it. If they switch teams, I don't know how much of a difference it is. But guess what? They didn't. Who cares?
Yeah. That's the thing.
So you want it to be valuable is winning, Sam. And the Yankees are winning. And Shohei, unfortunately, is on a team that is not. And he did choose to be on that team. So maybe that's part of the repercussions. And I know, and I get it, and I've talked with Trevor, and he's not wrong. But if that's what we're doing, then that's what we're doing. Yeah. He's breaking the home run record and potentially winning the Triple Crown on a team that is going to win their division. Sometimes we overthink it with sports.
I mean, most valuable player is adding value to a team. And he adds value to a team that is winning. And I think people's biggest argument is, what if Ohtani was on a different, whatever. He's not. That's the cards he was dealt. That's what he chose. And at the end of the day, I think it's black and white. I think it's.
I think where black and white gets tricky is if Judge wasn't doing what he's doing this year, I think Shohei is the MVP. That's the whole reason we're discussing. It wouldn't be.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to think who's even third in the AL this year. Golly, Jordan Alvarez.
I was going to say Jordan, yeah. That's the closest
so
I can think of.
If that's where you're at, then you can give those out. And I think Andre Dawson maybe had one of the first losing team MVPs that shocked the world, and people were like, how can we do this? But the fact that we're here, I think it's baseball. You can have yourself have not a bad situation, because the articles are why should Judge have been MVP or why should Ohtani have been MVP? And that's fine, and no PR is bad PR. I think if you elevate both of these guys, if not now, then when? And why not? And who does it really hurt? One of my favorite videos on the internet is, it was at the Olympics, and it was what's the one when you run up with the pole and jump?
Pole vaulting?
Pole vaulting. I would have gotten there. These two guys, they like matched each other, and then they didn't get like the next level, like neither of them. So the judge comes up to them, and pole vaulting, pretty tight community. The two guys know each other, like the two best pole vaulters in the world, so they're acquaintances. So the judge comes up to them, and they're like, all right, if you guys want, we can set the bar. We can leave it up there, and you guys can go again. We can bring it back down, and you guys can go again. Or like, if you guys agree to it, you each get a matching gold medal. And they both look at each other, start grinning, smiling, and yelling, because they respect each other so much at their craft that I get that there's not that MJ Jeter killer side to it, you or me, but there's also a mutual respect in sports that, like, hey, dude, what you did is insane. What I did is insane. I can't do what you do. You did not do what I did.
Right.
Apples to oranges.
I also think you're saying in 10 years we're like not going to care. In 10 years we're going to be like, can you believe that Shohei Ohtani was doing that while Aaron Judge was breaking the home run record? Like, it's going to be such a conversation of like, can you believe that all of this was happening at the same time? Not, oh, well, Judge should have won it or Ohtani should have won it. It's going to be, holy shit, can you believe that was a year where that was an argument?
Those fights, the arguments of like negativity of like so-and-so should have won, this person should have won, they only last about a year or so, and then they're forgotten.
Except for Paul Goldschmidt, you give that man the NL MVP this year. I will die on that hill.
And Dan Rourke will never forget 2017 MVP.
Now that's
fair
dark.
enough.
Well, on that note, guys, let's wrap up this episode of the Girls Room. That was a great one. Lovely, lovely. Thanks for joining us, Jake.
I did my best. I failed. I don't think there were any genuine tears.
No, you used them all last night in your reaction videos.
I did admit that you made me cry last night
That's true.
with your reaction video.
That counts.
I guess I'll just have to come back again.
That's fine. You can do that.
We'll
Thank
allow
you
it.
guys for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Enjoyed
Always
my time
welcome.
here.
Always welcome. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Bye.
We for